274, where are you? 274, where are you?
Hello?
274.
Hello?
Is that 274?
That's me.
Where are you?
What?
I'm talking to 274, right?
Yes, that's me, I'm 274. Who are you?
Who am I?
Yeah.
Who do you think I am? I'm your office.
Oh, yes.
Where are you?
I'm cruising.
What do you mean? Listen, son, I've got a job for you if you're in the area I think you're in. Where are you?
I'm just cruising about.
Don't cruise. Stop cruising. Nobody's asking you to cruise about. What the fuck are you cruising about for? 274.
Yes, hello, I'm here.
I want you to pick up a customer coming from Boulogne. That is what I want you to do. He's coming into Victoria Station. Do you follow me? Now, the question I want to ask you is this. Where are you? And don't say you're just cruising about. Just tell me if you're anywhere near Victoria Station.
Victoria what?
Station. You see, 274, I need some help on this. Can you help me on this?
Sorry?
Can you help me on this? Can you come to my aid on this? Yeah, I've got no one else in the area, you see, 274. I've only got you in the area, I think. Do you follow me?
Oh, I follow you, yes.
And this is a good job, 274. He wants you to take him to Cookfield.
Eh?
He wants you to take him to Cookfield. You're meeting the 1022 from Boulogne, the European special. His name's McRooney. He's a little bloke with a limp. Now, I've known him for years. You pick him up under the clock. You'll know him by his hat. He'll have a hat on with a feather in it. He'll be carrying fishing tackle. 274.
Yeah.
Are you hearing me?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Well, I'm not doing anything.
How's your motor? Is your motor working?
Oh, yes.
Your ignition's not on the blink?
No.
So you're sitting in a capable car.
I'm sitting in it, yes.
Are you in the driving seat? Do you understand what I mean? Do you have a driving wheel in front of you? Because I haven't, 274. I'm just talking into this machine, trying to make some sense out of our lives. That's my function. God gave me this job. He asked me to do this job personally. I'm a monk. I lead a restricted life. I haven't got a choke and a gear lever in front of me. I haven't got a cooling system and 4 wheels. I'm not sitting here with wing mirrors and a jack in the boot. And if I did have a jack in the boot, I'd stick it right up your arse. 274. I have every reason to believe that you are driving a Ford Focus. I would like very much for you to go to Victoria Station in it. That means I don't want you to walk down there. I want you to drive down there, right?
Everything you say is correct, yes. This is a Ford Focus.
That's right. And you're sitting in it while we're having this conversation, aren't you?
That's right.
Where?
By the side of a park.
By the side of a park.
Yes.
What park?
A dark park.
Why is it dark?
Well, that's not a very easy question.
Isn't it?
No.
You remember this customer I was talking to you about? The one coming into Victoria Station? Well, he's very keen for you to take him down to Cookfield. He's got an old aunt down there. I've got a funny feeling she's going to leave him all her plunder. He's going down to pay his respects. He'll be in a good mood. If you play your cards right, you might come out in front. Get me? 274.
Hello, I'm here.
Go to Victoria Station.
Well, I don't know it.
You don't know it?
No. What is it?
It's a station 274. Haven't you heard of it?
No, never. What kind of place is it?
You've never heard of Victoria Station?
No, never.
It's a famous station.
Well, I really don't know what I've been doing all these
What
years.
have you been doing all these years?
Well, I really don't know.
All right, 274. Report to the office in the morning. "135, where are you? 135, where are you?"
Don't leave me.
What was that?
Well, it's me, 274, please. Don't leave.
135, where are you?
Don't have anything to do with 135. He's not your man. He'll lead you down blind alleys by the dozen. They all will. I'm your man. I'm the only one you can trust.
Do I know you, 274? Have we met? Well, it'll be nice to meet you in the morning. I'm really looking forward to it. I'll be sitting here with my cat o' nine tails, son, and you know what I'm going to do with it? I'm going to tie you bollock naked to a butcher's table and flog you to death all the way to Crystal Palace.
That's where I am. I knew the place. I'm sitting in a dark park underneath Crystal Palace. I can see the palace. It's silhouetted against the sky. It's a wonderful edifice, isn't it? My wife's in bed. Probably asleep. And I have a little daughter.
Oh? You've got a little daughter?
Yes, I think that's what she is.
Report to the office at 9 a.m. 135, where are you? Where the fuck is 135? 246, 101, 178. Can somebody help me? I've got a good job going down to Cookfield. Where the fuck is everyone? Can anyone hear me?
Oh, I can hear you.
Who's that?
Well, it's me. 274. Here, waiting. What do you want me to do?
You want to know what I want you to do?
Ah, yes, there's something I forgot to tell you.
What is it?
I've got a POV.
You've got a POB?
Yes, that means I've got a passenger on board.
I know what it means, 274. It means you've got a passenger on board.
That's right.
You've got a passenger on board sitting by the side of a pub.
That's right.
Did I book this job?
No, I don't think you came into it.
Well, where does he want to go?
Well, he doesn't want to go anywhere. We just cruised about for a bit and then came to rest.
In Crystal Palace?
Not in the palace.
Oh, you're not in the palace?
No, we're not right inside
I
it.
think you'll find the Crystal Palace burnt down years ago, old son. It burnt down in the Great Fire of London.
Did it?
274. Drop your passenger. Drop your passenger at his chosen destination and proceed to Victoria Station. Otherwise, I'll destroy you bone by bone. I'll suck you in and blow you out in little bubbles. I'll chew your stomach out with my own teeth. I'll eat all the hair off your body. You'll end up looking like a pipe cleaner. Get me? 274.
Yes, hello, I'm here.
You're beginning to obsess me. I think I'm going to die. I'm alone in this miserable, freezing fucking office. And nobody loves me. 135, where are you?
I don't have anything to do with 135. They're all bloodsuckers. I'm the only one you can trust.
You know what I've always dreamed of doing? I've always had this dream of having this holiday in sunny Barbados. I'm thinking of taking this holiday at the end of this year, 274. I'd like you to come with me to Barbados. Just the two of us. I'll take you snorkeling. We can swim together in the blue Caribbean. In the meantime, though, why don't you just pop back to the office and we'll have a nice cup of tea. You could tell me something about your background, all about your ambitions and aspirations. You could tell me all about your little hobbies and pastimes. Yeah, come over and have a nice cup of tea, 274.
Oh, I'd love to, but I've got a passenger on board.
Put your passenger on to me. Let me have a word with him.
I can't. She's asleep on the back seat.
She?
Can I tell you a secret?
Please do.
I think I've fallen in love. For the first time in my life.
Who have you fallen in love with?
With this girl on the back seat. I'm going to keep her for the rest of my life. I'm going to stay in this car with her for the rest of my life. We'll get married in this car. We'll die together in this car.
So you found true love at last, eh, 274?
Yes, I found true love at last.
So you're a happy man now then, are you?
Oh yes, I'm very happy. I've never known such happiness.
Well, I'd like to be the first to congratulate you. I'd like to extend my sincere felicitations to you.
Thank you very much.
Don't mention it. I'll have to make a note in my diary not to forget your golden wedding, won't I? I'll bring along some of the boys to drink your health. Yeah, I'll bring along some of the boys. We'll have a few jars and a bit of a sing-song. 274.
Hello, yes, that's me.
Listen, I've been thinking. I've decided that what I'd like to do is I'd like to come down there and shake you by the hand straight away. So I'm going to shut this little office, I'm going to jump into my old car, and I'm going to pop down and shake you by the hand, all right?
Fine, but what about this customer at Victoria Station, the 1022 from below?
He can go fuck himself.
I see.
No, I'd like to meet your lady friend, you see. And we can have a nice celebration, can't we? So just stay where you are, right? Right? 274.
Hello?
Don't move. You stay exactly where you are. I'll be right with you.
No, I won't move. I'll be right here.
I'm having a very nice time. The weather is up and down, but surprisingly warm on the whole, more often than not. I hope that you're feeling well, and not as peaky as you did the last time I saw you. No, you didn't feel peaky. You felt perfectly well. You simply looked peaky. Do you miss me? I'm having a very nice time, and I hope you're glad of that. At the moment, I am dead drunk. I had 5 pints in the Fishmonger's Arms, followed by 3 double scotches, and literally rolled home. When I say home, I can assure you that my room is extremely pleasant. So is the bathroom. Extremely pleasant. I have some very pleasant baths indeed in the bathroom. So does everybody else in the house. They all lie quite naked in the bath and have very pleasant baths indeed. All the people in the house go about saying what a superb bath and bathroom the one we share is. They go about telling literally everyone they meet what lovely baths you can get in this place. More or less unparalleled, to put it bluntly. When I said that I was drunk, I was of course making a joke. I bet you laughed. Mother, did you get the joke? You know I never touch alcohol. I like being in this enormous city all by myself. I expect to make friends in the not too distant future. I expect to make girlfriends too. I expect to meet a very nice girl. Having met her, I shall bring her home to meet my mother. I like walking in this enormous city all by myself. It's fun to know no one at all. When I pass people in the street, they don't realise that I don't know them from Adam. You see, Mother, I'm not lonely. All that has ever happened to me is with me. It keeps me company. My childhood, for example, through which you, my mother, and he, my father, guided me. I get on very well with my landlady, who is a Mrs. Withers. She tells me I am her solace. I have a drink with her at lunchtime, and another one at tea time, and then take her for a couple in the evening at the Fishmonger's Arms. She was in the Women's Air Force in the Second World War. "Don't drop a bollock, Charlie," she's fond of saying. "Call him Flight Sergeant, and he'll be happy as a pig in shit." You'd really like her, Mother. I think it's dawn. I can see it coming up. Another day.
Darling! Where are you? Why do you never write? I often think of you and I wonder how you are. Do you ever think of me? Your mother? Ever? At all? Have you changed your address? Have you made friends with anyone? A nice boy or a nice girl? There are so many nice boys and nice girls about. Please don't get mixed up with that other sort. They can land you in such terrible trouble and you'd hate it so. You're so scrupulous, so particular. I often think I would love to live happily ever after with you. And your lovely wife. But she would be such a lovely wife to you. And I would have the occasional dinner with you both. A dinner I would be happy to cook should you both be tired after your long day. I'm sure you will be. Sometimes I walk the cliff path and think of you. I think of the times you used to walk the cliff path with your father, with cheese sandwiches, didn't you? You both sat on the cliff top and ate my cheese sandwiches together. Do you remember our little joke? Munch, munch! We had a damn good walk, your father would say. You mean you had a good munch, I would say, and you would both laugh. Darling, I miss you. I gave birth to you. Where are you?
I'm not at all sure I like the other people in this house. Apart from Mrs. Withers and her daughter Jane. Jane is a schoolgirl who works hard at her homework. She keeps her nose to the grindstone. This I find impressive. There is not too much of that about these days. But I'm not so sure I like the other people. One is an old man. The one who is an old man retires early. He is bald! The other is a woman who wears red dresses. The other is another man. He's big. He's much bigger than the other man. His hair is black. He has black eyebrows and black hair on the back of his hands. I asked Mrs. Withers about them, but she will talk of nothing but her days in the Women's Air Force in the Second World War. I have decided that Jane is not Mrs. Withers' daughter, but her granddaughter. Mrs. Withers is 70, Jane is 15. That, I am convinced, is the truth. I hear whispering from the other rooms and do not understand. I hear steps on the stairs, but do not dare go out to investigate.
On your father's deathbed, he spoke more and more of you with tenderness and bewilderment. I consoled him with the idea that you had left home to make him proud of you. I think I succeeded in this. Well, one of his last sentences was give him a slap on the back from me.
I made a remarkable discovery. The old man who is bald and who retires early is called Withers. Benjamin Withers. Unless it is simply a coincidence, it must mean that he is a relation. I asked Mrs. Withers what the truth of this was. She poured herself a gin and looked at it before she drank it. Then she looked at me and said, "You are my little pet. I've always wanted a little pet, but I've never had one, and now I've got one." Sometimes she gives me a cuddle, as if she were my mother. But I haven't forgotten that I have a mother, and that you are my mother.
Sometimes I wonder if you remember you have a mother.
Something has happened. The woman who wears red dresses stopped me and invited me into her room for a cup of tea. I went into her room. It was far bigger than I had expected, with sofas, curtains and veils, and shrouds, rugs and soft material all over the walls, dark blue. Jane was sitting on a sofa doing her homework, by the look of it. I was invited to sit on the same sofa. Tea had already been made and stood ready in a china tea set of most elegant design. I was given a cup, and so was Jane. Smiled. "I haven't introduced myself," the woman said. "My name is Lady Withers." sipped her tea. Her stockinged toes came to rest on my thigh. Lady Withers asked me about you, Mother. She asked me about my mother. I said with absolute conviction that you are the best mother in the world. She asked me to call her Lally and to call Jane, Jane. I said I did call Jane, Jane. Jane gave me a bun. Jane nipped into her bun, her toes now resting on my lap. Lady Withers seemed to be enjoying her bun. I had never seen so many buns. They were perched on cake stands all over the room. Jane chewed almost dreamily at her bun. My bun turned out to be rock solid.
Darling? Darling? Where are you? Why do you never write? Well, nobody can find you. Nobody knows if you're alive or dead. Nobody knows your whereabouts. Or maybe you've changed your name. If you are alive, you are a monster. On your father's deathbed, he cursed you. He cursed me to tell the truth. He cursed everyone in sight. Except that you were not in sight. Well, I tried to console him. But he died in lamentation and oath. Was that your wish? Perhaps you will ride here. Oh, in a handsome new car. One day in the not too distant future, in a nice new suit. Quite out of the blue.
I'm thinking
And
of
hold
offering
me in
myself
your
out
arms.
as a tutor.
Huh?
I consider that I would make an excellent tutor to the young. In any one of a number of subjects, Jane would be an ideal pupil. She possesses a true love of learning. That's the sense of her. One takes from her every breath, her every sigh and exhalation. When she turns her eyes upon you, you see, within her eyes, raw, untutored, unexercised but willing, a deep love of learning. These are midnight thoughts, Mother. Although the time is 10:20 precisely. The front door.
Two women. No, I've not heard of it.
My mother and my sister.
No one of that name resident. No, no strangers admitted. We get on very well without intruders, thank you very much. I suggest you go back where you come from and take your slanders and your libels and stop bothering innocent, hard-working people. The all too predictable excrescences of the depraved mind at the end of its tether. I can smell your sort a mile off, and I'm quite prepared to put you both on a charge of insulting behaviour, malicious mischief, and vagabondage. In other words, wandering around on doorsteps knowingly without any visible means of support. You piss off out of it before I call a copper.
Darling.
I was lying in the bath when the door opened. I thought I had locked it. My name's Riley, he said.
How's the bar?
Very nice. You've got a slender yet well-knit frame. I thought you was only a snip. I never imagined you would be as slender and well-knit as I now see you are. Oh, thank you. Don't thank me. It's God you have to thank. Or your mother. I've just dismissed a couple of imposters from the front door. We'll get no more shit from that quarter. He then sat on the edge of the bath and recounted to me how he dismissed them. It interests me that my father wasn't bothered to make the
I
trip.
hear your father's step on the stair. I hear his cough. And his step and his cough fade. He does not open the door. Sometimes I think I've always been sitting like this. I sometimes think I've always been sitting like this. Alone, by an indifferent fire. Curtains closed. Night. Winter. Me? Well, I have my thoughts too. Thoughts no one else knows I have. Thoughts none of my family ever knew I had. I tell them to you. Now. What I mean is, when, for example, I was washing your hair, the most delicate shampoo, and rinsing and drying your hair so gently with my soft towel, so that no murmur came from you of discomfort or unease. And then looked into your eyes and saw you look into mine, knowing you wanted no one else, no one at all, knowing that you were entirely happy in my arms. I knew also, for example, that I was at the same time sitting by an indifferent fire, alone in winter, in eternal night without you. Oh, perhaps I should forget all about you.
Withers plays the piano.
Curse
About
you,
the
let your
room,
father
the pockets of
curse
a Val Jose of a pink, I shall never forget.
Wait for your
They
letter.
sipped their
Begging
wine
me to
from
come
such
to you.
lovely glasses of
Pinter!
elegance of grace and gesture, I thought long dead. Lady Withers wore a necklace about her alabaster neck, a neck amazingly young. She played Schumann. She smiled at me. Mrs. Withers and Jane smiled at me. Oh, Mother, I have found my home, my family. Little did I ever dream I could know such happiness.
Come here, son. Look sharp, don't miss me about. I haven't got all night. Do you know where you are? This is my room. It's not Victoria Station, get me? It's a true oasis. This is the only room in this house where you can pick up a wagon train to all points west. Compris? Comprende? Get me? Are you prepared to follow me down the mountain? Look at me. My name is Withers. I'm there, or thereabouts. Follow me? Embargo on all duff terminology. With me, embargo on all things redundant. All areas in that connection, verboten. You're in a disease-ridden land, boxer. Keep your weight on all the left feet you can lay your hands on. Keep dancing. Here the old foxtrot is the classic response, but it's not the response that I'm talking about. Nor am I talking about the other response. Up the slaves. Get me? You're in a place of creatures. Up and down stairs. Creatures of the rhythmic splits, the rhythmic side swipes, the rums and roulettes, The macaroni tatters, the dumplings in jam mayonnaise, and catapult in order of gruesome ramshackle shenanigans. Open-ended paraphernalia! Follow? It all adds up. It's before you and after. I'm the only saviour of the grace you find yourself wanting. Mind how you get. Look sharp! Get my drift? Don't let it get too mouldy. Watch the mould. Feel the density of it, sonny. Feel it! Look at me!
Come to me. In my youth, I was a right titbit. Well, I was like a piece of plum duff. They used to come from miles to try their luck. I fell head over heels in love with a man in the Fleet Air Arm. He adored me. Well, they had to murder because they didn't want us to know happiness. I could have married him and had tons of sons. Oh, wait. No. He went down with his ship. I heard it on the wireless.
Riley and I shared a cup of cocoa in his quarters. I like slender lads, Riley said. Slender but strong. I've never made any secret of it. But I've had to restrain myself. I've had to keep a tight rein on my inclinations. It's because my deepest disposition is towards religion. I've always been a deeply religious man. You can imagine the tension this creates in my soul. It's breathtaking, the discipline I'm called on to exert. My lust is unimaginably violent. But it goes against my best interest, which is to keep on the right side of God. I'm a big man, as you see. I could crush a slip of a lad such as you to death. I keep those desires shackled in handcuffs and leg irons. I'm good at that sort of thing because I'm a policeman by trade and I'm highly respected. I'm highly respected both within the force and in the church. The only place where I'm not respected is in this house. They don't give a shit for me here. There's too many women here, that's the trouble. And it's no use talking to Baldy, he's well away. These women treat me like a leper. Even though I'm a relation of a sort. What relation? Is Lady Withers Jane's mother or her sister? If either is the case, why isn't Jane called Lady Jane Withers? Or perhaps she is. Or perhaps Mrs. Withers is actually the Honourable Mrs. Withers. But if that is the case, what does that make Mr. Withers? Which Withers is he anyway? And who is Riley? But if you find me bewildered, anxious, confused, uncertain, and afraid, you also find me content. The house has a very warm atmosphere, as you have no doubt noted. I talk freely to all the inhabitants, with the exception of Mr. Withers, whom no one talks to whom no one refers with evidently good reason. But I rarely leave the house. Riley leaves the house, but rarely. He must be a secret policeman. Jane continues to do a great deal of homework whilst not apparently attending any school. Lady Withers never leaves the house. She has guests. She receives guests. Those are the steps I hear on the stairs at night.
I know your mother has written to you to tell you that I am dead. I am not dead. I am far from being dead. Although there are those people that have wished to be dead. You especially. You who have prayed for my death. I hear your prayers. They ring in my ears. Prayers yearning for my death. But I am not dead. Well, that's not entirely true. That's, I'm leading you up the garden path. That's what I'm playing about. I'm having a bit of a laugh. Because I am dead. Dead as a doornail. I'm speaking. From my grave. A quick word for old times' sake. Because you were such a loving son. A last kiss from Dad. You know, there's one thing that bothers me. While there is generally absolute silence throughout all the hours, I still hear occasionally a dog barking. I hear this dog. And it frightens me.
They have decided on a name for me. They call me Bobo. Good morning, Bobo, they say, or see you in the morning, Bobo, or don't drop a coolie, Bobo, or don't forget the diver, Bobo, or keep your eye on the ball, Bobo, or keep this side of the tram line, Bobo, or how's the lead in your pencil, Bobo, or how's the sticks in the sticks, Bobo, or don't get too much gum in your gum boots, Bobo. The only person who does not call me Bobo is the old man. He calls me nothing. He's old and will die soon.
Oh, the police are looking for you! You may remember you are still under 21. Oh, they have issued your precise description to all constabularies, and they will not rest, they assure me, until you are found. I have stated my belief that you are in the hands of underworld figures who are using you as a male prostitute. You have never possessed any strength of character whatsoever.
I'm coming back to you, Mother.
You are palpably
The whole thing in
susceptible
my
to
arm.
even the most
I'm coming also to
form of
clasp my
flattery and
father's shoulder.
blandishment.
Where is the old boy? I'm longing to have a word.
Women were your downfall.
Where is he?
Even as a nipper.
Tell me
I haven't
he's
forgotten
left
France
home
was the
at
French
his age.
maid. Or that woman who
It's
masqueraded under the title of governess, the infamous Miss Carmichael.
On his part.
You will be found, my boy, and no mercy will be shown to you.
Done with him, Mother.
Tell you what, my darling, I've given you up as a very bad job. Tell me one last thing. Do you think the word love means anything?
I'm coming back to you. I'm about to make the journey back to you. What will you say to me? I have so much to say to you, but I am quite dead. What I have to say to you will never be said.